the Art Moehn Auto Show.
Special guest in the building, Mr. Art Moehn himself, Fadi Mustafa.
What's up, guys?
Welcome.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Glad that you're here with us
I'm
today.
so glad to be here. I need to make sure I hold this mic right here.
Yes.
I want to get yelled at.
So we can all hear your
right
beautiful
here.
voice.
Fadi finally found time for us after his busy day.
No, I always make time. You just got to get invited. You got to get invited.
Were you waiting to get invited?
I was waiting.
Were you so excited? He's
So
like, man,
excited.
when are they going to invite me on the podcast?
Like maybe this week.
Such
maybe
an
not.
honor.
Now we have a little
Oh, for
audience, so now we can get.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. I'm
Good.
glad that we have an audience too. It's pretty cool that you guys started this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
been
just an
fun.
idea at first, and then look at it. Now it's a
Yeah.
thing.
We're all
It's been
grown
great
up.
doing both, like local businesses on here, and then like teachers in the community. Like we had Ashley on, and
Right.
Kurt, the chiropractor, and now we have like people. We've had Matt, Tyseer, you. So
Man, Matt and Tice here before me.
I know your own younger. He's younger, right?
Yes.
Your own younger brother before you.
It's all right. They saved the best for last.
There you go. This
kidding.
is not the last.
I'm kidding.
so.
Yeah. So before getting into like your automotive career, what did you do prior?
Helped everyone with their cell phones,
Ah,
their
like
ringtones.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you guys work? Oh no, you worked at Best Buy.
Correct.
Where
Yep.
did you work?
So I worked at the Sprint store over there in Moe's Hood.
Yeah.
Over by Jackson High. Right. Yeah. Your area too represent, right? J
Oh yeah.
J High.
Yeah. Yep. J High.
Out here representing Northwest by myself. Am I
Mm-hmm.
gonna? I'm kidding. But no, right there at West Ave in Wildwood, I worked at the Sprint store right there, and it was like Nextel and Sprint. Like you guys are both probably too young. You remember
The
that chirp?
walkie-talkie chirp.
Remember the
Yeah.
chirp?
3 minutes after 9.
You remember Nextel?
I never had it, but
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
3
yeah.
minutes after 9.
Yeah. So
So-
people would like text you and like you get charged. Like you'd wait till like 9 o'clock to text.
oh, I remember like not having unlimited text.
Yeah.
Like literally, my dad would be like, "You're using up all the text."
Yeah.
And in
And
high
ring
school,
back
like, "I'm
tones, too.
sorry."
Yeah, ring back so people
Yeah.
would call you.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so I used to fix people's cell phones, sold cell phones, and then right before here, I worked for Pepsi for 2 years, stocking shelves,
Oh,
and
okay.
then became a route manager. And I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. And then this happened.
This just
This
happened.
I tried to get a job here like 2 years before that, before I worked for Pepsi, but I had a motorcycle and I had a bad driving record,
Oh,
so they
really?
couldn't insure me.
Oh no.
It would have been like 13 years had I started then, but everything always has a plan,
Yeah.
right?
So how long have you been here?
11 years next month.
11 years. Wow, that's awesome.
How was your first year here?
Oh, struggle.
Struggle.
It was a struggle. It was crazy. It's, and that's what I try to remind all these like younger people. Like, I wish we had the resources that we have now, like I did when I first started. So like how everything that we have nowadays is just crazy. Just like what could be found. It's not like I'm saying like it's like the phone book days to now we have Google, but just like how available and how our management team, just like how everyone is on the same level of trying to get everybody to this next level, whether it's personal, business, whatever it may be.
Did you say that would you say that you kind of like pioneered this Facebook persona for the dealership? Were you kind of like the first person because 11 years ago,
Yeah.
2013, yeah, Facebook was,
Yeah. You were still in school?
I graduated in 2012. Excuse you.
I feel like an old man.
You're not an old man.
Yeah, I got all these gray hairs.
Wow.
I'm
I
got
out
a few
here
too off
with
on
these
phones.
kids out here,
Yeah.
I'm out here with these kids.
That's
No, I'm
funny.
kidding. But yeah, so Facebook was like kind of a thing. Just Facebook was, I think, everyone's random thoughts. Like I'd post what I'd be eating,
Yeah.
what
it
I'd
was
be
definitely
watching,
different.
and then it kind of turned into. I have a story that kind of led me to Facebook here and everything too, but it was crazy. It was a big turn. I was just sharing like my success and like people's cars after some time, but yeah, I got it going, and when I first started, everyone was making fun of me like that wasn't a thing. Like,
Really?
you're doing Facebook, but that was where my crowd and a lot of people that I knew and I'd helped over the years were and still are, which I'm definitely thankful for that. But I was walking out. You got to think, now we got like 20 salespeople, but call it like 15 people then. Everyone's here to do the same thing every day, sell a car. You know, if you don't have somebody, you try to find a way to do it. So I'd post pictures occasionally, but I was walking out to get a customer on the lot that was just pulled in, walking out there, and I'm not going to name names because he'll know. If he watches this, he'll know. He's like, hey, Fadi, you got called into the showroom. You got somebody up front. So I turned around, walked back in, and as he's walking past me, he's like, don't ever let me do that to you again. And yeah, he like pretty much sniped that customer from me.
What?
And I had nobody inside, and he sold that customer a car.
Dang.
So I was like, hey, never happening again. So I like, at that point, like honestly, it was like a big turning point for me. Like I got to find a way to find my following and my people and work with the people that I love and enjoy working with. And that's the people that I know and have done business with me.
That's not nice.
Yeah, he wasn't a nice person. He don't work
me?
here no more.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Just to give the people at home an idea of like how the car business works, right? There's a couple ways to get customers, right? 1, you walk out to the lot. 2, you pick up the phone. 3, it's just like minding your own business, right? Whether it's Facebook, personal networking. But Fadi has found a formula. He does not take a single phone call. He does not take a single walk-in. All his business is through repeat and referral. And you have a higher close rate with repeat and referral, correct?
Right, yeah. So, like, yeah, I literally work with people that want to work with me, and that's, like, the part that I absolutely love about it is I'm not, like, trying to avoid people. If I run into somebody and I got the time to do so, I'm more than happy to help somebody. And then most of the time what's cool about it is, like, I've heard about you, or I know somebody that's worked with you, or I know that person on your picture frame. So,
Yeah, you
it's
have your
pretty cool.
digital picture frame
Yeah.
showing people you've helped. I think that shows. Well, I know that people know they can trust you because they've worked with
Yeah.
you before, but also seeing all those people you've helped prior, people are like, oh, I can trust this guy.
Yeah.
You know.
They're not fake. They're actual people that bought cars, and I've helped over the years.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, seeing
no.
like actual testimonials of people that have
Yeah.
bought.
Yep. Whether, it's the social media aspect of it. And I had clients of mine the other day that I helped, and they're like, please don't post that picture on Facebook. Like, keep it on your photo frame. But, like, we just
sure.
don't want people to know our business. I'm like, I 100% entirely
Yeah.
respect that.
Yeah. It's not for everybody.
No, it isn't. And I know that, I don't, like, social media for, like, an everyday person is just different for than what it is for me, It's... People are afraid to message me on Facebook. Sometimes they're like, it's your personal Facebook. I'm like, that's like my business.
Yeah.
It's a big part of my
Yeah. For
how
sure.
I communicate with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big part of like retaining your customers is your customer service, right? Can you talk to us like how important it is to be there like after the sale as it is like before the sales even happened?
Yeah, so it's it's pretty awesome. So like some people are like, why are they calling you about that? I'm like, I don't mind, People are like, why would somebody call you if they got a flat tire? I'm like, I'm the first person that comes to mind anytime somebody has a car issue. They're unfortunately dealing with a situation, but they're calling me like, hey, I got a flat tire. Does my like wheel and tire protection cover this? Or what do I need to do? Or but I love it, because honestly, like there's no better feeling than trying to help them in an unfortunate situation. But it's tough because sometimes like when I'm buying or doing something, I expect the same in return and you don't get it. And it's
You
like such a
expect the service
letdown.
that you give, and it's just not.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
not
the best
gonna get it.
compliment is a referral. So
It-
when you
that-
do help them,
Yeah.
so-
I know it is, but yeah, just how it's huge in any business, any line of work. I'm not just here to just sell somebody a car and just like, hey, have a good day, and I don't know who you are. I am horrible at names, so if I've ever forgotten your name, I'm sorry. But like, it's hard, because we deal with if you're counting like 75 to 100 people sometimes in a month that we're talking to and new faces, and sometimes like, you drive a Chevy Equinox Premier that's gray with those wheels, right? They're like, yes, but I'm like, I'm sorry, I
I'd
can't
be
remember your
impressed
name.
with that.
Yeah,
I'd be
me
like,
too.
oh, he remembers what I drive.
Hey, funny, Jordan would run into somebody, Bishop, our Honda manager. I think he was on here, wasn't he?
Yes, he does.
We'd run out somewhere, and he'd be like, that's honey oat latte with 2 shots of espresso.
Oh, because he worked at
He
Starbucks.
worked at Starbucks,
Oh, I
yeah.
forgot
So
he said
he'd
that.
know people
That's
based off their
amazing.
drinks, but wouldn't
That's
know
so
their names.
funny. Yeah.
I would be iced caramel macchiato.
Ice caramel. What kind of milk?
I don't know.
You
I
do
just
that
don't
whole
do
milk?
that.
Regular milk.
Extra caramel,
Okay.
right? Regular milk.
Oh.
So.
He's old school. Regular milk.
You mocha, bro.
Mocha milk. But what advice would you give to the Fadi starting out on year one compared to what everything you've accomplished now?
If Fadi were to start today,
Yeah.
oh man, like dive deep
Back
in.
in time.
Yeah,
Till
because
it
a lot
was
of people, especially in our friend group, they're getting into the car business. So.
Right. Stay out. Why are they coming after us, man? Leave us alone.
I know,
The
right?
competition.
No, just come in, be willing to learn and be open. That's a lot of new people. They expect immediate and instant gratification out of stuff they've done. And it was honestly probably 5-6 years ago when I've finally seen like what I have built and done starting to build up and like put me into like great months in the business. So be willing to learn, be open, and not just being stubborn. And I don't know, like there's just a lot of work. Just be willing to adapt and change and never get comfortable with one thing, because literally in this business there's always something changing, whether it's the technology in a car, whether it's the economy, whether it's COVID, whatever it could possibly be. Because like what people that started selling cars 4 or 5 years ago, it's a complete different game now than what it was. Like now it's kind of back to when I first started, because of just how it can be difficult for people.
Yeah, or even like with COVID, right? Because the close rate was higher, and that's because it's like, hey, this is the red car we have, take it or leave it,
Right.
get another one. So a lot of people kind of call it this fake success, and now they're kind of getting hit with reality.
And yeah, you see a lot of it in the auto business, probably in sales in general, but we're surrounded by the auto business. So you've seen a lot of people have just left because they couldn't handle that, because they really didn't have the skills to keep them in the business.
And so you worked here through COVID.
Yeah.
Were you one of the few? Or
I was one of the first ones back, me,
Okay.
Chris, and Charlie. And we were masked up, doing things through the door. It was kind of crazy. It was kind of cool, but luckily we were really fortunate. We had amazing weather during that time.
Yeah.
So like literally cars would be lined up outside, and we'd be like taking paperwork on a clipboard,
way.
signing people
Oh
on
my
the clipboard, and like
I didn't know that.
come back like tomorrow we'll have the car ready type. Yeah, and like
It's like drive through.
here's
car
your
service.
keys. Yeah, it was
Weird.
insane. It was a crazy time for all of us to
Yeah.
deal with. So
Yeah, no matter what industry you were in, I'm sure it
Yeah.
was.
Did at
Well, it
any
was
point did you
crazy.
like lose hope? Like, is this like the end of like my career type of deal, or were you always like optimistic?
Ooh.
Like that's going
Dark.
yeah, that is dark. Like literally, you gave me like a flashback memory.
I did. I had some at Best Buy. I'm like, this is my end.
It
my
was.
end.
It really was.
Yeah.
There was a dark point in that, because like literally there was a point when I'd pull in the parking lot and you could drive through the parking lot because we had no cars.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like there was like the whole left side of the parking lot was like empty, and you drive
Wow.
through and you're like, dang. But like I trusted in management, and we stuck through it, and we made it work, and we literally have the most cars than anybody in the county. And we do things different. We're different around here than most. So, and we have an awesome team to management, all that ownership, office. Like it's crazy just how all of it goes together. And you just like, how are we selling 300 cars a month, and we're out selling multiple dealers combined.
Because we're different. We do things differently.
Is that our
build
motto, the
different.
main difference?
The main
We're
difference.
we got the main difference around here. Yeah.
Mo difference.
The mo difference.
Mo difference.
Man,
So-
he turned it in his own.
As someone who is about to have her first baby,
Oh my god.
how do you balance because you are really very successful and very busy. How do you balance that family work life?
I try to, capital TRY, put my phone away when I get home, and then just respond to things later. Most people are respectful, about it, but obviously if things need to get handled, but there's not much I can do really at like 9-10 o'clock at night when someone's texting me about a car.
Right.
Like
yeah.
nothing's going to change from then till the morning. So I've learned to kind of let stuff like that go. Like I don't need to immediately reply to things, and I need to find that balance, because we spend a lot of time here, and I always try to take my time off, my scheduled time off, and accommodate and do whatever I need to. But yeah, the biggest thing is probably like leaving the phone. When I get home, set the phone and the closet or wherever where I set my keys and everything. And but yeah, that's like one of the biggest parts is my phone, because
you do a lot of business through your phone.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get away from that because you take your phone with you.
Right.
So it's like, I guess you kind of have to separate yourself from work.
And then like Facebook, sometimes like I have a lot of stuff like in Facebook Messenger that like I have to respond to, and I'll leave things unread until I can get to them. And then sometimes like things get buried. It's just crazy. There's a lot to it. And then on top of, people that haven't coming into the showroom to deal with the technology side of it all, and then on top of people that I actually have here, I'm thankful for. There's always awesome to be like have the opportunities that I have, but I always communicate and make sure to, hey, give me a little bit, I'll be in touch, we'll make it happen.
Yeah. And what I've heard is that people will wait for you. They will wait for good service because they can trust you and they know what they're going to get from you.
Right.
So they'll wait for you. If you have someone, they're like, no problem. Like, I'm here to
I've
see
seen you
Fadi.
crippled up before, and you were just handling it.
Yeah.
And I've seen people just being like, you know what? No problem at all. I'm going to see Fadi and I'm going to wait for him.
Yeah,
so.
it's pretty cool. Honestly, like the biggest part that I seen that support was when I was in the hospital and I was off of work for 2 weeks, and I came back and literally everybody was there waiting for like people were like, hey, just get with me when you're back. And it was like I worked 12 days that month and I helped 21 people with new cars. So it was like insane. It was like literally nonstop the whole time I was here, but it was pretty awesome.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe was that the month you came back and still won salesperson of the month?
Yeah.
Wow.
Still one salesperson of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
I don't think people were happy.
more than half the days than everyone else had.
Yeah, it's okay.
But,
You're so humble. You're like, no.
But I love that about you. Whether you sell 30 cars, 25 cars, like you have that same like humble attitude. Like, where does that come from? Does that come from like family? Is that just kind of just how you're wired?
I don't. It's natural. Like, there's no reason to really like. I was joking, so everyone puts on their pants the same way. There's people that are more successful than me that sell 50 to 100 cars a month, and we all put our pants on the same way. We might have to wiggle in a little more or something, I do too at times, and depends.
Me too these days.
Yeah. So it's just I think it comes. I give a lot to my dad too, man, because we grew up like my dad was a hardworking man, and I just had to like take that and just soak it all in and just know who I'm here to provide for on a day-to-day basis. And a big thing is like remembering your why. Like, why are you at work? Why are you producing? Why are you doing whatever you're doing on a day-to-day basis? So even if it's that shop job, remember why you're there producing or doing what you're doing for your family, because you're sacrificing to do these things for your kids, family, babies, whatever it may be. It's
And this dealership gave us an opportunity to provide a better life for our families. But when we're on the topic of cars, what's the most amount of cars you've ever sold in a month?
Yeah.
I think there was a month that I had 37 and a half, and then I think I topped it at like 41 and a half.
Wow.
I don't. It's like official, unofficial, because I was off for my nose surgery and sinus, not like a nose job. Otherwise,
You
I'd
got a
make
nose
this smaller. But I think it was like 41 and a half, like April of 22, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I've never
It's
seen
crazy.
anyone. I've only been here for like over 2 years, but I've never seen anyone sell 40 in a month.
No, it was crazy.
Not yet.
But like things like that, like when you're having months like that, it's just they're easy. Like everything's flowing, everything's good. People, customers love seeing you busy, and me personally, like I don't want to call that painter, that drywall guy that's just available to come the next day. That means like he's slow for reasons,
Yeah.
So if you got to wait for a better, no, I'm not saying like, hey, I'm better than, but like if somebody's busy and it takes a second to get in,
true, yeah.
like obviously he's busy for reasons, or
Yeah.
he or she.
You got to book out that person, get your hair done. It's because she's really good.
Right.
And
If you
she's
go-
really busy.
If you go to that girl at Fantastic Sam's and she's available today,
she's available in 5 minutes.
you should color your hair
know what?
right. No hating on, you know what I mean though.
You want to go see her, see what
No
happens.
offense.
no.
No offense. Fantastic Sam's.
But no, that's awesome.
Is that still a
'cause
thing?
I don't know. Is it still Fadi?
You tell me, Mr. Jackson. You're
It used to be right next to the old country
the
buffet.
Pizza Hut, yeah.
Yeah.
You remember old
Yeah.
country buffet?
Yeah, I know about Old Country Buffet.
All right, right next to that.
you know,
Yeah.
It might, who
B
knows?
Dubs, the
Yes.
B Dubs
Yeah.
now.
It might still be
I don't
there.
think it is there.
No,
Oh,
I don't
well.
go there.
They need to make that like a Lady
Shots fired,
Jane.
Yeah. How does it make you feel? Like, obviously, like we always have conversations that you weren't very good in school, and just school was just not where your heart was at. But like now, like your previous teachers, principals are all sending students to come shadow you as like a role model, showing like this is a good career and
It's
you could-
inspiring.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So like my funny story on that, real quick. Chris Prater in the office works here. When I first started here, she's like, I know you. I'm like, you look familiar. She's like, I worked in the office at the high school. I'm like, She's like,
Oh,
she originally
no.
thought I was like a teacher's aide or like a principal aide or like helping in the office. But I was just down there all the time because I was always in trouble.
She thought you worked there. You were there so much. Oh my gosh. That's so
Yeah,
bad.
so, but no, like Chris Galloway, I've helped Scott Buechler with their cars. Like, it's pretty cool to help, like, they were principal, vice principal. They're both vice principals at the time. I've got to help them and their
wow.
families with cars now, so it's actually pretty cool. But yeah, literally, I'm getting kids that are coming in and shadowing me, and they're like, hey, come watch this guy's success. So it is, like, very, very cool. Like, I'm honored to do that. I got to speak. A lot of people don't know I graduated from the alternative at Northwest because I got in trouble, for chatting it up and getting in trouble all the time at school. And I got to speak at the Northwest alternative graduation, like, I think last year or year
Oh,
before last.
really?
Yeah, so that was
Aw.
pretty cool. That was nerve-wracking.
Oh, I bet.
I
Public
bet,
speaking.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. And but yeah, no, it's been pretty awesome. Like, I've gotten interviewed, I've been in a newsletter for them. It's really cool. Like,
You have a great success story coming from, just because you don't succeed in school or when you're younger doesn't mean you can't come up and come
Right.
out and.
if you're not good at talking, and if you do a lot of talking in class, you might do better talking in
That's what I
car
was gonna
sales, huh?
say. The gift of chit chat
Yeah.
works
It's
like
pretty
life
well in the
is sales,
dealership.
right? Like,
Right.
You're
Yeah.
going to a job interview or you're talking to a girl, you're like life is sales.
Or you're trying to sell your parents on the box of cereal.
Or
Like,
your
Mom,
work
like
here.
the Captain Crunch is good, Mom. Like, you're gonna love it too. Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah.
No,
Selling
but
your
no-
mom on the sweets.
Yeah.
That's where it started.
Yeah, exactly. But so if you've been here like 11 years, have you ever thought about getting into management, or do you just like love selling too much?
No, I do love selling a lot, and I like the flexibility of it. But like, I always wonder what others would think of me as like a leader or something. Like, I've always wanted to try to help because I think it's just natural that I help people here on a day-to-day basis. But I always wondered. But like the biggest thing for me is the flexibility. But I enjoy selling, and I like deal with new people every day, new scenarios every day. And sometimes when you get in the management side of things, you kind of lose sight of them kind of things. So
And there's no ceiling for you, right? It's just
Yeah.
like,
Right.
You sell 100 cars, they got to pay you on 100
You have such a
cars.
great niche too. Like you have a great customer base. You have something really special. So
I do. I have some awesome customers. I always get jokes from other clients around or other coworkers around here. They're like, "Let me get your customer, man."
oh my gosh, I can't tell anyone I work at Art Moehn without the Fadi. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or when we work at the downtown thing, they're like, "Are you Fadi?" And I was
my
like,
Oh
gosh.
yeah, my brown brother over
Yes.
here.
Are you Fadi?
Most of-
Fadi? Or when I
most
post
of-
a picture with someone else, God forbid I post something on Facebook, and I love it. It's funny. People are like, "Where's Fadi? Where's Fadi?"
I know.
see
Thank
Fadi.
you guys.
Like,
Thank
he's
you for
selling a car.
Hey, Mo did sell a car for me one night. He was out and about with some friends,
I didn't
and
know
a
this story.
and a guy came up
what?
to him, and he's like, "Hey, you're Fadi, right?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I need a truck," and he's like, "Cool, like hit me up." And
No.
Mo like texts me. He's like, "Yo, hey, this person's gonna hit you up." I'm not gonna say the name of the person, but
Yeah. Funny.
and he's like. He hit me up and he bought a truck from me, so it was
That's
kind
hilarious.
of
Mo.
insane.
You're like, yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what helped me get into my career.
Yeah.
I
too.
can be Fadi, sure.
Yeah.
Fadi for the
Grab my
moment.
name tag, bro.
Yeah, you should just carry around a Fadi name tag in your back pocket.
Funny story.
Yeah, I am Fadi now.
Before even coming onto the podcast, I literally had a customer come. He's like, don't you work next door too? And I was like, I can, yeah.
Yeah.
So he wasn't
Maybe
Oh,
he thought
yeah.
it was
They're like, wow, this guy's everywhere. He's
Two
over
brown
here,
guys.
He's over there.
that's what happens. But like, I can't thank you enough, because even when I was going into like my automotive career in Audi, you know, the big thing you told me, like, hey, like, I love you, I'll support you. This is what I would do if I were you, but I'd recommend coming here because you can sell local.
Right.
And obviously, if you have a lot of connection with other dealerships, what do you think our dealership does different than other dealerships that sets us apart?
first, like, I'm glad to have you here. Like,
Thank you.
and that's like, if that tells you anything about like Art Moehn, we take care of one another.
Yep.
So, you know, it's just like you just got to look out for, whether it's for your coworker or whether you're looking out for the client, you know, you want to make sure people are taken care of. We're in the people business, you know, that's just a big part. But on that thought, like, just like I was saying earlier, our management, we have such an awesome management team. We have great coworkers here. Just everyone that we surround ourselves with, I think for the most part, are like-minded individuals and wanting to see everyone succeed. And I don't think there's much of that jealousy that, you know, I know of, but obviously there's anything and everything
Workplace,
everywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not everyone's going to be besties.
But
But I feel like it's
pretty
different.
good.
It is different here. We're like a family. You know, there's a lot of people that are friends and support each other.
it really is. And like, we're doing training. Like, our biggest thing right now is training on self-development. It's not even like selling cars. Like, it's nothing of that sort. Not like, hey, say these words and they're going to say yes. It's just like, hey, how do we make ourselves as a better human, whether it's for work, whether it's for home, whatever it is. And it's opened people's eyes and ears to different things that, you know, life. And I don't think anybody's really like found it. They're like, oh my God, like, car sales isn't for me. I just need to go do something else because this is what I dreamed of, you know? And that's the kind of like stuff that we're into right now, is like the self-development of, you know, yourself. So, but like, that's like, I think really what sets us apart from everybody else is like, it's not that, it's not just the constant worrying about selling cars. Like, everything else will come, you know, be a good human, take care of people, and everything else will fall in its place.
Yeah.
You know,
We are lucky that our management does focus a lot on being good people. Like you said, we literally, our training program right now is about just being better in life, not just at work, but in your personal life too. And being
and that's
a good
what we've been
person.
working on for like the last 6 to 8 months. So
Yeah.
it's not like, hey, we need to learn how to do this today because
we've been-
we need to sell cars, and we're still, you know, selling a lot of cars. You know, we're helping a lot of families with their cars, and it makes you have a new perspective of how to help people and how you can help people and understanding people's situations instead of judging or pre-qualifying somebody based off of this or that.
Right.
Yeah, well, like, as we know, January, February are traditionally slow months because everybody's burnt out from the holidays, but we had a really good February. Like, when some dealerships were struggling, like, we were at the top.
You
And
can't
it's
just
not-
go into it like, this is going to suck.
100%.
It's going to be slow.
Right.
Like, you
Yeah.
have to, you can't let yourself get into that mindset.
100%. And it's not like you cast a spell on people. It's just like, you know, you do good and good will come back to you.
Right.
But, like, after everything you've accomplished, like, what does success mean to you? Like, is it like a big house? Is it a Ferrari? Is it financial freedom? Like, what is success to you?
Well, I think ultimately comes down to happiness,
Yeah.
you know, is like a big thing, and just being stress-free of life. But that all comes with financial freedom.
Yeah.
And that and it ain't even like the big house or anything of that sort. Like, I have an awesome support system at home. You know, my wife stays home with the 3 kids. So like, but you know, I wouldn't be able to do that without the success that I've had here.
Right.
But you know, she's a big backbone to, I don't have to worry about the, you know, the kids of that sort. But happiness, I think, is the biggest part of it. And just being happy as much as you can, and not stressing the small stuff is really ultimately what it comes down to, because we can watch the news and we can be stressed out constantly and be worried about this and be worried about that, but control what you can control. And, you know, ultimately that's what I try to do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I didn't take some of that advice. I'd be stressed out.
Yeah.
I know, me too.
I'm stressed
Like,
sometimes too. These gray hairs
that
be
in.
coming, you know. We don't need no prego stress over
I
here.
know. Like, whew, no big deal.
Yeah.
Awesome. what advice can you give somebody who wants to find success, be successful, not necessarily even in the car business, but like just in general?
Be yourself. Like, I think ultimately it comes down to being yourself. Don't fake being something else that you're not. Like, people see that stuff. People sniff that stuff out, and I see it day to day, every day, you know, whether it's customers, you see people on social media, whatever it is. But truly be yourself. Be the human you are. Smile, just be happy, and just literally just do you. It's crazy. Have you ever, like, tried to smile? Like, have you ever like, would you try to, like, walk by somebody smiling and they're like, like, try to be like the happiest person in the room? If you, like, try to smile at somebody, or you think they're going to walk by and they're going to be like,
maybe. They're
try
like,
it. You
what
should
are
try
they
it.
up
Let's
to?
do it.
All right, let's do it. I'm down.
Walking by with smile. Like, literally, you can, like, be walking by
Smiles are
somebody.
contagious.
They are. Like, you
People
walk by
smile.
somebody in a grocery store and they're, like, frown upon you and just smile. Kind of like, what the
Maybe
heck's
that's how
this
we get
guy?
so many customers. Just smile.
Just smile.
He's just a happy guy.
Yeah.
I just got my teeth cleaned this morning.
There
so
you go.
hey.
That's why he's
Yeah,
smiling. I think
but-
people sense the realness that comes from
It, but yeah, it ultimately comes down to just being yourself. Like, don't fake trying to
Yeah.
be somebody else you're not.
people can sense that.
You know,
Really.
well, that's really about it.
There you
I don't know big tidbit, like, and you're gonna, like, quote this in, like, 8 years and be
Yeah.
like Fadi. and
Secret
stuff.
to life.
Yeah, but the big thing is,
I'm like a quote on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
the big thing is, like, there's no shortcuts, right? Like, people come here as a freshman and they try to just graduate as a senior. It takes time. You have to go through the process.
You have to go through the grind. Like, it's a grind. Day to day. Like, no one just started out. Like, Chris Cudner didn't just start off here as I don't know. He didn't just start off here as a president of our company.
Right.
He had to go through the different positions to get to where he was. Like, it wasn't just going to be given. Like, like anything. I worked at McDonald's. I pushed shopping carts at Meijer, you know, like, but here I am, and I found what I love doing, and it really is, like, I wouldn't say like a dream come true, but it's so cool. Like, I never would have thought in high school, if you'd be like, hey, what are you going to be? I never would have said a car salesman.
Yeah.
But, and I don't even feel like I'm a salesman. Like, I am who I am, and I help people
Your car friend.
solve problems.
Yeah.
Car friend. Yeah.
Car
Somebody has a
friend.
problem.
Hashtag.
Solve it. And
Hashtag car friend.
I like that. Awesome. Well, Fadi Mustafa, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for
much
having me.
joining
I
us.
appreciate it.
Yay.
We'll be back with more.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Bye.